Every October since 2011, Retro Movie Geek has brought you the spooky side of retro movies. And this year is no different. So, a haunting we will go as we dig up classic tales of ghosts and hauntings that are 20 years old or older. But remember, we spoil the hell out of every movie we cover. So consider yourself forewarned. Spooky Flix Fest starts now.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Welcome to a special crossover episode of Retro Movie Geek presents Spooky Flix Fest. And we are Headlong Into Monsters. Son of a bitch. Does that sound right? Whatever. The ADHD of horror movie podcasts. We are your deadly duo of elderly emos. I am Ragul, coming at you from beautiful Tooele, Utah. And with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host from down in Arkansas way, Barely Ashley. Ashley, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm so damn sexy.
That can't be denied.
Honestly, today's been a little rough. I had a kind of a very, very fast-paced day at work today. Barely finished all of the things that I had to do today just in time to get out of work semi on time. But I was rushing. So
Have you even eaten dinner yet?
no, I have not eaten dinner. I got home and then fought with my computer for 25 minutes, and then here we are. And then you and I fought with our collective computers for 15 minutes.
I blame Peter. Somehow this is Peter's fault.
I accept that. I accept that as fact.
Yep, it is Peter's fault, and I'm not sorry.
Nor should you be. Well, Headlong Into Monsters is a spoiler podcast, and with that in mind, we do not cover... Oh, shit, this has been a while. We advise that you listen at your own risk if you don't want to be spoiled on the movies. But considering that Retro Movie Geek is a podcast that does not cover movies within 20 years of their release, I would think you're in the clear. So don't race on a bridge and stay the hell out of Utah and join us as we dive headlong into monsters. This is... what?
If they... Listen, guys, if this is a spoiler for you, this movie has been out long enough.
I'm sure there's some people. You know what? Actually, I was talking to a coworker today, and I said we're going to be Ashley and I were going to be talking about Carnival of Souls, and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a horror movie." "Oh, is that recent? Did it come out this year?" And I'm like, "Oh, you sweet summer child."
The year of 1962, sir. But you want to know my shame and my secret shame that everyone's going to know right now?
Is this your first time watching this?
First time watch for me.
Damn, Ashley, man, I'm so excited. How was your experience, this being your first time watch?
Oh, I was just so completely caught in this movie. just completely immersed myself. I hate the word immerse. Like, hate when people
What?
say, like, this is an immersive experience. Like, you sound like such a fucking jackass. But I was immersed in this world that they've created here, and I didn't want to leave it.
It is a shame that this movie is so short. It's a really good story.
Yeah. I think we're jumping the gun here, though.
That's true. I guess real quick,
5 minutes, and this is not how we roll.
like we got a timer going on right now, and we've been at this. We've only been at this for 3 minutes, so I think we got a little bit of time to kill.
We've got some
Let's talk
cover.
about wieners.
Wieners. That's or thirst traps or OnlyFans. What is? Everyone go to our Facebook and look at the bingo card I created.
That's
Should
yeah.
take care of it for you.
Oh my gosh. Things I was recently on an episode of LOTC and things got real weird with a little present that Pearl sent me. It's a shot glass in the shape of a dick.
Oh, oh my god! You don't even drink. What are you shooting out of it?
Okay, but here's the thing, like the mouth is obviously the head of the dick, but it's really small. Like it's so small. It's smaller than a hot sauce bottle, but also it's a huge shot glass. So at one point, you would just have to be like holding the dick up to your mouth, like trying to get all that shot out of the dick. So I did what any good, respectable Mexican who doesn't drink alcoholic beverages would do, and I put uh, a lot of hot sauce, like okay, it was the hot sauce that that I was consuming during our Hellraiser episode.
Yes. Oh no, not that again.
Yeah, so I put
Glass?
I put it in the shot glass, and honestly, it's a huge shot glass, but a small dick.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what we're doing here. I should probably read the synopsis here. The synopsis on the Indaba, shout out Joel. After a traumatic accident, a woman becomes drawn to a mysterious abandoned carnival. Well, that's a shitty synopsis. Hold on.
That's not even. I mean, that happens, but that's not.
Yeah. Okay, here's the storyline synopsis on the IMDb. Mary Henry, she has two first names. What an unfortunate soul. No wonder she was a bitch.
She was doing her best with what she was given in life and death.
Mary Henry is enjoying the day by riding around in a car with two friends. When challenged to a drag, just a drag? Didn't even finish the. All right. The women accept, but are forced off a bridge. It appears that all are drowned. I swear I can read. Until Mary, quite some time later, amazingly emerges from the river. After recovering, Mary accepts a job in a new town as a church organist, only to be dogged. Yeah, dogged. Whatever.
Dogged by a mysterious phantom figure.
That seems to reside. I'm gonna let you finish.
Seems to reside in an old rundown pavilion. It is here that Mary must confront the personal demons of spiritual. Hey, how do you say this last word?
Oh shit. Spiritual insouciance.
Whatever that word is. You guys can look it up. If I'm not.
Wow.
I don't know what that word is.
I don't either, but you know what?
I'm pretty
I not to
smart.
pat myself on the back, but I think I fucking nailed it.
Yes, you did. You nailed it. Wait, I need to know, why do you think Mary's a bitch?
She just seems so like cold, like to a lot of, and I can definitely see like to the other guy that was staying in the boarding house, that guy was an asshole, but she seemed like really cold to like the landlady when she was leaving town, and the guy was like, safe travels on your journey. Please, come and visit us whenever you stop by in town. And she's like, I'll never see you again.
I loved it.
I was like, oh, she's kind of a bitch.
She just had two men run her off of a bridge, lie about it, and then get away with murder. She
I
comes
did
back.
notice that.
Yeah, they just fucking lied about it, and everyone's like, fine, whatever, yeah. And then, like, here she comes out of nowhere, and, like, she's traumatized. You assume she's traumatized until you get to the end, and you're like, oh.
That's true. I mean, we are going to spoil it. She pulls Bruce Willis.
Yeah, this is the original, he was dead the whole movie. Like, this is... I'm assuming it's the original. I'm going to claim it to be.
I mean, it might be one of the first ones like told cinematically.
Yeah.
But I want to say just the year before there was an episode of The Twilight Zone where they did essentially the same thing. I think that episode was called The Hitchhiker.
I remember
Uh,
that episode, yes.
oh, I love that episode.
This whole movie was like an extended Twilight Zone episode.
It really was.
And that's what really drew me in, because I am in love with the Twilight Zone. Other than the black and white, which you know that I love anyway.
Oh yeah, Ashley, I knew you were just gonna love this movie. If not for anything else, then for that aesthetic alone, I knew you were gonna enjoy this movie.
Yeah. And the most exciting thing about it being in black and white was they played it so well. Like, the cinematography in this film is outstanding. Like, they knew how to play like the darks and the light to make it so fucking creepy, and like the makeup effects and everything, it just was like, to me, just everything just like totally worked together, and I just loved the way they shot this movie.
What did you watch this on? Did you watch it streaming? Did you buy it? What did you do?
I went bougie and I bought the Criterion Collection 4K.
Oh wow.
uh yeah, so if you watch this for free, where it's streaming for free at a lot of places, you're not I mean, it's gonna be a little rough. But I watched this beautifully remastered version because I bought the Criterion Collection version off Amazon.
Now, how much was that Criterion a Blu-ray? Or 4K, you said it's 4K?
I don't know if it's 4K. It may have been like 20 something, maybe $27. Let me look.
Because I watched this free on, como se dice, that one thing. Or what? Oh, son of a, come on, brain, you piece of shit. Amazon Prime. I watched this free. I watched this free on Amazon Prime, and it was pretty good. I mean, it was a little grainy. You can tell the quality wasn't the best,
Yeah.
but it was still a fairly good transfer. I do own it on DVD. I just didn't feel like getting my DVD out.
So I tried to watch it for free first. And then I was like, it's 30% off on Amazon for the Criterion Collection. So it's originally 40 and now it's $27.99. So fuck it, I bought it and I was like, yeah, this is fucking awesome.
Is it still on sale?
Right now it is, yes.
Oh my gosh, I might have to. Is this happening? Am I buying a Criterion on the podcast live?
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
I might. Hold on. I gotta go to Amazon real quick for no reason, really.
It's just a Blu-ray, it's not a 4K.
Oh, son of a bitch.
But Criterion is so careful and just respectful of the media they pick. It's, I mean, this is worth a buy. But this is a good couple's costume. I need to be Mary, and I need someone to be the man. I think his name is just the man.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at stills on the from the Criterion, and it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it was stunning. And I
Man,
watched
this makes what.
it
Sorry,
on
go
my
ahead.
station.
Now I'm jealous because these stills make what I watch kind of look like a piece of shit.
I say, like, anyone listening to this, do it. Just buy this Criterion Collection version because it is stunning. Like, you can really, like, appreciate what they were trying to do on this extremely limited budget they had.
So, I mean we should probably talk about the movie for a bit, but
Yes.
um, you know it's the girls, they're run off the bridge by the guys, and I never noticed this the first time I watched it. It wasn't until this current viewing that I noticed that the guys driving in the other car actually do like slam their, they give them a little side
Yeah, they
slam.
do. They push them off the bridge, basically.
Oh, hardcore! But did you catch how long they were looking for the car before Mary came out of the river?
No.
3 hours.
Oh, I knew it had been a long time, and it was like, where was she?
She did.
I mean, technically, spoiler, she's still in the fucking car. But her soul presents itself to some people. And they're like, oh, Mary's just alive. Like, she just crawled out of the river. What a
No
fucking
one questioned.
miracle. No one's questioning it at all.
It made absolutely no sense. I'm like, anyway, did you this how long was it before you realized, oh, she's dead?
I didn't know. It took me till the very end, and I was like, this motherfucker has been dead this whole time?
What? Are you serious?
There's signs, like, clearly there's a bunch of signs, like, where people can't see her or hear her. And, just her presence in general, yeah, she's seeing things other people can't see. Like, I'm not sure, like, how it is, and someone way more scholarly or more intelligent than I am can tell me. Was she, like, walking the line of the living and the dead the whole time, and it was, like, this pull, like, it was, like, trying to pull her back, and that's why sometimes, like, they couldn't see or hear her, or what? It's, like, clearly she was in the car the whole time, though, so her body, like, she was the whole time a spirit, but it was just weird, like, how could people talk to her sometimes?
Maybe she was like temporary embodiment of astral projection, kind of like, that old oh my gosh, that urban legend of that hitchhiker that gets picked up, like that really attractive hitchhiker in the middle of the road,
Yeah.
in the dead of night, and the guy, like, oh, picks her up, starts hitting on her, and then he drops her off at her house, but she leaves her jacket in the car, so the next day he goes back and gives the jacket back, but it's the hitchhiker's mom, and the mom's like, oh, my daughter's been dead for 15 years.
Yeah. I'm not
it's
gonna
it's probably something like that.
I'm not gonna question it. It was good writing for the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the story falls apart if you even think about it for a second longer, but
Yeah.
I mean, even the first time I watched this, when I noticed, like, 3 hours, where the hell she been for 3 hours? And I thought, oh, that bitch is probably dead.
Yeah. No, I didn't question it. I was just there and I was like, well, fuck, she's been maybe swimming around or trying to find her, trying to find like where she like went off the bridge at. I don't know.
She's she's swimming around. She climbed out of the car, almost drowned, and then she decided this is a great time to train for my triathlon. That's what she did.
Maybe there was a current and it kept pulling her and it took her a long time to get back. The
Oh,
River, okay, that's plausible.
yeah, sure.
Here. That river has currents that are really strong and it could have pulled you out really far and it could have taken me 3 hours to get back to my original start point.
Yeah, okay,
If I
but
was
you know,
a pro swimmer, I could have done it.
I don't.
And
Yeah, and I don't know.
listen, I just was first of all, I just got out of the hospital, so give me some let me just live in my delusion for a minute.
No, that's fine, Ashley. It's just really funny how like you're gonna like the narrative that you are constructing in your head to make this writing like absolutely like seamless is amazing.
Or scientifically, you could think about how we're always in the past. Like the you and I right now corresponding to each other are in the past because
Yes.
of how wave frequencies travel. So maybe there was something with that like going on. Like I don't know. Don't
I am
maybe she
at
was
a
there the
loss for
whole time, but
words.
like we didn't see her yet because I don't know. I was trying to make it work and I'm failing.
Ashley, I wish I had your creativity. Do you
I'm
know
basing
how many
it on
t-shirt
real life
designs I could have
concepts.
come up with by now if I had your creativity?
Well, you just gotta get the wrong kind of ADHD and then it'll come out.
My gosh. This is amazing.
How much was this movie made on? I can't find it.
Oh shit.
Like
I don't even
$2?
know.
Just like
I mean, it feels like the kind of movie that might have been made off of the price of a pepperoni hot and ready pizza from Little Caesars.
but they did it so fucking well. Like they really hot and readied this movie.
Oh
Really
my.
did. Like this is the best hot and ready I've ever had. Um
Oh my.
$30,000 budget.
How
33,000.
much? 33,000. My truck costs more than this movie, and that's fantastic because this movie has lasted a lot longer than my truck ever will.
That's true.
Okay, real quick, you know the pavilion, the carnival,
The
the titular
carnival.
carnival.
Yeah.
That is filmed here in Utah. Well, yeah, it is filmed here in Utah, but specifically, it is filmed about maybe 15 minutes from my house.
Why aren't you going there and taking pictures and showing me?
I have gone there. It looks a little different now. Now it's like a concert hall.
Hmm.
It's been rebuilt, I think, 3 times now, so it looks different. Um, but it looks similar enough to where you would be able to recognize the structure. The building's called the Palace at Saltaire, or a lot of people just call it Saltaire, but it's like a concert hall slash event center.
Yeah.
It's a really cool, very beautiful building, and I love this movie because I get to see it run down to shit. Like it looks gross.
That's really interesting.
Oh yeah, it's at the most it's maybe 20 minutes away from where I live.
I feel like I'm gonna need to take a detour when I'm at Vegas and just go that way.
A detour from a 5-hour detour from Vegas.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm down. I might be able to meet you halfway. Like maybe I don't know where halfway is. We
Here's
should totally get lunch though.
the thing. I don't have a car, so that's gonna be a problem. It's fine.
Okay. You know what though? Google can teach you how to hotwire something.
Oh, now I'm gonna get into stealing cars.
Boosting cars. This just became a review of the Fast and Furious franchise. Buckle up, everybody.
Yep, and this is exactly why our episodes are like 4 hours long.
That's
Anyway,
true.
back to the movie. So, okay. So the girl comes back, and within days, she's moved to some new town where she's an organist for a church. And she's like, I'm paraphrasing here, okay, by the way. I don't believe in this shit. It's just money. Um, Basically, what's going on in this church. And then she starts seeing this man everywhere. And I believe what they call the man, that the one she keeps seeing, is the director of the film.
Oh, is he really?
That is what I think I saw. And anyone can feel free to correct me on that.
Okay, so the director of the film's name is Herc Harvey, and I'm not seeing Minister John Samuels, organ factory boss. I'm not seeing
There's no
like,
credit for the man,
yeah,
even though he's like the menace of the whole fucking movie.
that's some shit.
What the hell?
I don't know. That's
It
some
was
shit.
either
But I
director
mean,
or the writer. Yeah.
well, right. Oh, okay, so he does have Herc Harvey does have a writing credit. It says, at least on IMDb, it says it was written by John Clifford and Herc Harvey. So he's got a writing credit.
Okay, so looking at his picture, yeah, it was him,
Dope.
Harvey. Yeah, so he played the menacing man, which was kind of cool. They looked really
Re-
cool. Like I just thought
But
the song
really,
was cool.
the menacing man was really the dude across the hall in the
Oh
boarding
my god,
house.
the rapey guy.
He was what we call a sex pest.
Yeah, he would not let it go. And like in the bar, like she finally went to a bar with him, and he was just like, if you don't want to be with me, just say it. Like, we don't have to do anything. I'll just go. Like, the real manipulative tactics you use when a woman's not interested in you, but she's being too polite. So she's like, no, I want to be with you. Like, if we're this, yes, I want your company.
Also, he was saying like he was just annoyed that she wasn't doing anything. Don't you dance? Don't you drink? Don't you have any fun? You
Yeah.
know, like he was just being a dick.
Like, dude, 3 days ago, she just quote unquote survived a traumatic event. Like, maybe calm down a little bit.
But Ashley, she's a woman in the 60s. You know, she should know that her emotions don't matter.
Like, why would she want some dusty man in a boarding house? Like,
Dusty
go
man.
get a job in a fucking house in a car and then come back and talk to me. What girls scrub in a boarding house?
I don't want no scrub. Scrub is the dude that can't get this fee.
If you're using your bingo card, now is the time to check off roll scenes.
That's right.
But no, like he was just there to add another layer of bullshittery.
Yeah, I think between the two guys, the I guess the embodiment of death and her realization, it the so the man could kind of be viewed as not really an antagonist, but more like a spiritual guide to help her realize that she is in fact dead.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I didn't feel like the souls were antagonist in the least. I just felt like that's where she was supposed to be, and they were trying to get her there.
Yeah, I mean, it did feel antagonistic, like their actions felt antagonistic, but once you realize that she is dead, you kind of like in your mind, you kind of like go back and you're like, oh my gosh, they were just kind of, they weren't trying to hurt her. They were, trying to welcome her into the fold, I guess.
They're like, "You're a soul now. This is where we hang out in this like abandoned carnival, and we
I,
dance."
I, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh, did you like the dance?
it was creepy.
Was it?
It was creepy to me. It was creepy. And then, especially when you notice that she's also in there dancing with the man while watching herself dance.
I honestly love that. I think that was so beautiful. Like, I think a lot of people would have been like, oh, she's been dead the whole time. Like, I think that's kind of when people would kind of, wise up to this wool that the director and writers pulled over everyone's eyes. Me, I was like, called it.
Yeah. So, this is kind of on topic and kind of not on topic. There's an abandoned drive-in where I grew up in this little town called Osceola, Arkansas, and the screen is still there and everything. But if you do any research on it whatsoever, like one of the main films that they showed was Carnival of Souls. So like I desperately wish my grandparents were alive so I could be like, "Did you go like to this drive-in and watch Carnival of Souls? Why didn't you tell me about this?" So I need some souls to come get me so I can go ask them in the afterlife.
That's actually really cool. That would be a really cool experience to be
Yeah.
able to watch this movie like that.
This is a total B drive-in film. Like, and if I can find somewhere to watch this in a drive-in, I will probably drive to wherever I have to go. Like,
Oh,
I
I'm
would
sure
love
there's some
to
drive-ins
experience
that show it.
this.
Yeah.
It's in. It doesn't have copyright anymore, does it? It's in
Yeah, yeah, it's in the public domain.
public domain. Yeah. Because one of my friends was joking. They were like, "This and Night of the Living Dead are in public domain," and it's like if a director wants to be bougie, he'll put on Carnival of Souls in the background and be like, "I'm not gonna put on like Night of the Living Dead in the background of my film, like some of them do." But George Romero said that this film was directly like impactful to Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, I believe it. I have a box set of like 16 quote unquote zombie movies.
Mm-hmm.
And this and Night of the Living Dead are both on that box set.
So, do you think this is a zombie film?
Oh, absolutely not. No. Because she's not really back from the dead. At best, she's an apparition.
Yeah, I don't think it's a zombie movie either. And I've seen people describe them, what I call the souls, as zombies. And like, maybe if they were in their decaying bodies walking around causing havoc, that would be the case. But to me, they're not. They're just spirits. So this is more of like a haunt type film
It really is.
or spirit type. I don't know how to say it. Words elude me right now.
That's okay. English hard sometimes.
English is hard.
Not as hard as this. Dude.
And check it off.
I'm
That's a bingo
so
already.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. So a friend and I we were talking about what are your last words? What do you want your last words to be? And I said, I don't know, probably like a dick joke.
That checks.
So I'd be like, yeah, if I'm falling off a cliff, I would just be like, you're gonna get this dick.
That checked out really well with you.
Yeah, that's my kind of humor. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. But let's see. There was real quick. What was the creepiest moment for you in the movie?
Mm, I like the dance scene. To me, is so creepy. Just a bunch of like people with blacked out eyes just dancing around all like weirdly, and I don't know. Things like that creep me out.
I'll tell you the creepiest thing for me in the movie. It was it's towards the end where she's kind of going frantic. No one's acknowledging her. No one can hear her. No one can see her, and she's realizing that it's almost like she doesn't exist. And
Hmm.
then she gets on the bus,
Oh,
which is so far the only vehicle she's able to interact with. She gets on the bus, and it's full of the carnival dancers. You know, the
yes.
other dead people, and all, in unison, they all look at her. They get up and start walking toward the camera because at this point the camera is her point of view, and they start walking toward the camera, and I'm like, oh shit!
That is my favorite shot in this whole film. And if you saw that on the Criterion release, holy shit.
Oh, I would
It
love
was
to see that.
just it was just perfect. Like it's the perfect like atmosphere, the perfect shot, the perfect creepiness to them. Like everyone's doing they're like all in on their character, like they're
Hmm.
man just yeah, that shot is my favorite shot in the whole film.
Yeah, with good reason. That shot is beautiful. The first time I saw this movie, I was like, I don't know, I was early 30s, you know, maybe 31. And when that shot came, I like pushed myself back in my seat, like if I could melt into my seat. I
Yeah.
was oh, it freaked me the hell out.
Yes. It was so effective.
And
Still.
you know, just last year I watched it again, this time with Dominic, and he was fine with everything in the movie until that scene, and I watched him kind of shrink into his chair like I did years prior, and I was like, yeah, still effective.
Gotcha. Yeah. I could not get Caroline to watch it. She fell asleep.
Oh, that's a shame.
She can only be so much like me, right? And then maybe one day she'll appreciate these films, but
I hope so because these films are gorgeous, and they need an audience, or else they're going to fade into obscurity when people that are fans of them are no longer among us,
yeah,
ourselves included. You know, when we're old as fuck.
exactly. I just often wonder like what's gonna happen. Like I feel really weird about movies now in 100 years. Like, what are they gonna think about them? Because stylistically, some of it's trash.
Yeah, but maybe they'll appreciate it for what it was at the time. Kind of like how we, in our modern day lens, if we can turn back the clock, 365 days ago, when we were talking about idle hands and how it's so damn offensive and like not PC
Yeah,
and whatnot, but it's still so damn funny.
exactly. Yes, that's true. So I have some notes.
All right, go for it because we're running out of time.
Shit. Okay. So I just wrote down the cinematography coupled with Gene Moore's organ score made this film so effective and so creepy. Like, if you're gonna do a movie on a shoestring budget, you gotta have that music right and you gotta have your shots right. And they did everything. Like, they executed it both so perfectly together. Like, without the score, the shots alone could still be effective, but put together, holy shit, it's like a masterpiece film. And it got no respect. It was just a B movie drive-in film. And now I'm like watching it at home like, holy shit. Like, I was really captivated by it.
The music is beautiful, and especially that scene where she's at the organ and she's playing, the religious hymns that she's getting paid to play, but then her like hands start turning into claws and she looks at them and it almost seems like she's becoming possessed by some sort of unseen power, and then she starts playing again and it's so like dark and gothic and brooding almost, and she gets lost in it. The visuals change, the
Yes.
audience gets lost in it. It's almost psychedelic, and my gosh, it is beautiful.
And then she gets fired for it. I wrote I wrote kicked out of church for playing in the minor key. Such an early like 1950s, 60s sort of thing.
I mean, she wasn't playing in the Garden of Eden, baby. In the Garden of Eden, baby. Don't you know that I love you?
No, she wasn't playing that.
uh,
I just think it's so funny. Like, I remember being a praise and worship leader, and I know that everyone's going to be like, huh? Yes, I was for several churches. And, like, churches don't like minor keys. They just don't. Like, don't play in a minor key at a church, is all I'm saying. They'll think you're Satan.
that wouldn't be the worst thing I've ever done in a church.
I think the worst thing I ever did in a church was be an agnostic praise and worship leader.
Oh, that is pretty bad.
I was like, how do I get out of this? I'm old enough now where I'm not being forced to church, but I don't believe this anymore. But I'm a praise and worship leader. Anyway, it worked out and it's fine now. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got your own path there squared away. But we are running out of time. In
We didn't
fact,
talk about
we're
the doctor.
over. What?
We didn't talk about the doctor who's gonna help
We
her.
no. We was he helping her?
No, he wasn't, but he was also like following her around her boarding house and like thinking he knew what was wrong with her. And the boarding house lady was like, I just want her out of here. And I don't know. We didn't get to talk about the doctor experience, but there's not much to say other than to me he seemed very manipulative and unhelpful.
Okay, I did have a joke. I did have a joke. How many of those specific doctors does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
None. They prefer gaslighting.
Oh, yeah. Damn. That's so true. Like, he was gaslighting the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
Everyone was, though. I mean, just across the board. Maybe that's why she was being so mean.
Well, when you think about it, the only person that wasn't gaslighting her, probably, I mean, largely because he didn't speak any dialogue, but was the man.
Yeah. But also, I knew this, like, scene was coming with the doctor's chair because he was, like, the back, like, he wasn't facing her. His back was towards her. And the first time I was like, they're going to turn around, it's going to be the man. And it didn't do it. It was the doctor. But during one of the last scenes where she was like figured out her shit and she's like, I'm going to do this and this and this. I've got it all together. And the dude turns around and it's the man in the chair. And I was like, I know that's a trope, but I was waiting for it. And I was just so excited when that happened.
Well, I think the fact that it didn't happen sooner made the fact that it happened later better, you know?
Yeah. I wrote down, I have been waiting for this moment.
My whole life.
Yes. I was so excited. I was like, yes, it's the man. I loved that man.
Yeah, I mean, he could have had better hair. I'm not gonna lie.
It was effective hair.
Homeboy had a 5 head.
Don't talk about my older men like that.
What
Even
I
if
mean,
they're souls.
anyway, we do need to wrap up. So I guess this is gonna. We should hold on. We should we should rate this thing. I almost terribly mixed rap
Yes, you did.
and rate.
And I was like, we should not do that. We should not
Yes.
do the R word to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So we should rate this movie real quick, and this is going to be right off the cuff because I didn't write a rating down. But Ashley, I'm gonna have you go first.
well, I gave it a 10 out of 10. Just letting everyone know that. Foreboding organ music. 10 out of 10 foreboding organ music.
Oh, that's cool. I did not rate this a 10 out of 10. I mean, I rated it high, don't get me wrong. I rated this a 9 out of 10. Cars getting thrown off the bridge. Or cars driving off a bridge. 9 out of 10 cars driving off a bridge. And I say bye.
Oh, yeah. I definitely say bye, and I strongly urge you to buy the Criteria collection.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's going to be our collaboration episode. Thank you guys so much for letting us throw in some ideas and talk about this movie that is dope as fuck.
Yes. And thank you to Joel and Daryl, who is an angel. Shout out to Daryl. He's been helping me through my diabetes. And also, I guess, Peter, shout out to you for letting us be on here again. You're brave souls to let us keep doing this.
You really are. And I hope that one day you truly regret your mistakes.
Until then, we will keep pushing the boundaries until you never invite us back again.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Get all the spookiness you can handle this October by subscribing to Mom and Pop Video Shop on YouTube. You can also find Retro Movie Geek on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you dig up your podcasts. The spooktastic music you heard at the beginning and end of this episode was provided courtesy of Ed and Gavin and their band, Midnight Syndicate. We want to thank them for the use of music from their albums Gates of Delirium and The 13th Hour. Want to sink your ghostly claws into this and all of Midnight Syndicate's beautifully macabre music? Then go to midnightsyndicate.com. And remember, spooky is